Club webinar number 4, I think, right? 4 or 5.
Yeah, sounds right.
What's that?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So since our last webinar, we had our show at Art Expo in New York City. And I'm sure we'll review that a little bit. I also gave you an assignment to put together a marketing budget. And hopefully a few of you were able to do that and think about how you want to market yourselves over the course of the next 9 months to a year. We're going to talk about how you do sell art or how you have sold art in the past, and then Facebook and Instagram a little bit more. And Hannah's going to talk to you about making some reels. So let's get started. Linda's on, and she can review Art Expo a little bit. We had a pretty good crowd, right, Linda?
Yeah, we had a great crowd. It was interesting because when we look at the numbers, the attendance number is almost to a person exactly the same as last year. But what was different is there was a significant increase in the number of VIPs and collectors. And we did some adjustment. We tried some new things. And I think that really resulted in that increase in the important people that we really want to be there.
Yeah. Well, there were some good sales. Resulted in some pretty good sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anybody on the call? Was anybody on the call in New York?
Yes.
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 And do you have any comments? Did you enjoy it?
I had a great time. It was a really exciting, and I met a lot of interesting people.
I really enjoyed it as well. The experience of being there all the days, interacting with people and listening what they had to say about my art. That's wonderful. I had no sales, but was a great contact. It was a great experience.
Yeah. So not having any sales is not unusual.
I know.
If you think about trade shows or events in general, I mean, it's like a friend of mine made skateboard products for a while, and he made this new product once, and he goes to the skateboard show, and he's like, I didn't sell anything. I go, yeah, because nobody knows what you're making. I mean, you're there introducing yourselves to people. So that's why we talk about that book and following up with people and starting to establish relationships. It was funny when I was running galleries, you had, say, 6 people working in the gallery, 2 people that had been there for a while, 2 people that had maybe 6 months under their belt, and then 2 people that were always kind of new. You were always turning, it's like people selling jewelry in jewelry stores or cars or any high-end luxury good at Prada or Tiffany or things like that. And the people that stuck it out and stayed, and as the people that were newer, that had established some clientele, but then this isn't for me, or I can't stick it out this long, they fell off by the wayside. The old guard would collect their good leads, and then they would start calling, and the next thing you know, somebody else would leave, and they'd get their leads and their good clients. And there was always 2 or 3 people that were in each of my galleries that were long-term, had a future, saw the writing on the wall, and they made really good livings and a living. And it's the same way with artists. If you can kind of stick it out for those first 2, in the Gebhardt's case, I mean, it took them about 5 years before they really got established enough where they were making sales on a regular basis and supporting their family through selling art. And now if I had to guess, I would say they're probably doing anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 in art sales a year now, But it takes a while. So participating and having the budget to do so is a great thing. You're far ahead of most artists. And if you can start to return and you can make some sales off that, even $5,000 worth of sales, that would be absolutely terrific by following up with people. That would be my best advice. And then in writing them notes, thank you for coming to my booth. Really appreciated meeting you. If you made any notes about their interaction with you on site, you can mention that. If you're still interested in the piece, I'm happy to send it to you for a 50% deposit. And if you like it, you know, keep it for a month and then pay me the rest, you know, things like that. And keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, I'm used to have sometimes I had in the past solo exhibitions. I don't sell. We don't sell in the opening or during the exhibitions, and you sell later. So it was very good. It was very nice, and I will definitely come back next year.
Yeah, good, good. And the team does a good job. I mean, all the walls and lights are usually up and help you move in and tell you where to go and direct you to the right place. And we try to make it as easy as possible. I saw a couple comments come over of people that were new that were so almost intimidated, right? Really nervous when they got there. And then they, you know, saw Kelly or Jeff or Mita or Linda or somebody, and they talked them down and got them all set up. And, you know, that always works out that way. So,
Oh, wonderful people.
yeah, good. So how many of you have websites?
I do.
You
I
do.
have one too.
Yeah, Linda, you do, I know. Anybody else?
I don't know if you can hear me or not, but this is Jewel,
Mhm.
I do.
and I'm having trouble getting the image up, whatever, signing in on online, but basically I do have a website. In fact, it's through, well, I have a storefront on Redwood.
Right.
And at your recommendation, I did post, I signed up with Saatchi, and I've got 5 paintings there now.
Good. You had any hits yet?
Bunch of, well, no calls, but a bunch of hits, yes. 30 or 40 on some, and it's only been up a week. Interestingly enough, can I sell G-clay prints through my website on Redwood Art Group?
Yeah, you can sell prints. That's fine.
Good.
Usually you try to make the editions low enough so, you know, not open editions or anything like that. But yeah, you could definitely do that. Does your work translate into G-clay digital printing?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Do that in Kansas, or I can do that. Well, in fact, Saatchi will actually, you know, complete the whole process.
Yeah.
They'll mail it framed and you know, to the buyer.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a whole system for that. There's really only 2 big companies, you know, Saatchi being the biggest one of selling art online. Yeah. It's very, very hard to do. That's why we're having these discussions about how to market yourself. So how many of you, Mauricio, did you send out tickets before the fair?
Yes.
Did you have people show up?
Oh, actually, I sent a lot. I even asked Kelly if it was a problem. I had like a dozen of people coming to see.
That's great. Good.
Yeah, like in
And
different
that's-
days. Like have my husband's friends and my friends as well, and people interested in show my art in some stores and some other place. You know.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, so we're really, you know, I mean, this is pretty much focused on marketing. You guys all know how to paint and you all know how to package your work and do all that kind of stuff, but this is where we come in on the marketing side. So Hannah, do you want to post that YouTube video into the chat? Hannah?
Yes, let me
Yeah.
post it in real quick. So this video, last time on the meeting, I don't know if everyone was here or not, we talked about how there's a new way to make Instagram Reels using the template feature. So this video is going to explain exactly how to do that. It's only a couple minutes long, so you can actually watch this after we get off the meeting, but go ahead and open it now in like a new browser, and then you'll be able to watch it after. And then this is just a really good, easy way to make reels on Instagram. You know, anything that we can do on our end to simplify creating content on your end so you can get more work up on social media, you know, we're here to do. So make sure to take a look at that video. And then your assignment for the next time we meet will be to create a reel. It can just be a reel. It doesn't have to be using templates, but this is just an easier way to do it. And then let me know via email once you've created that reel, and I'll take a look at it and review it. And it can be, the reel can be a series of photos. It can be a series of videos, you know, whichever you would like to do.
Yeah, and so let me give you some suggestions there. You've got to really, I would suggest that you sit down and think about how to attract people to your reel and to yourself, to your story, to your theme, to your call to action. And you've all seen reels, they're little movies and stuff. And I watch artists, and I watch workout stuff, and I watch motocross stuff from motorcycles, and then, you know, AI takes over on Instagram, right? And they feed you all kinds of stuff from people working out and everything. And there's this guy in South Africa, his name is Tegan something, and he probably started at like 400 pounds. And he says, I am going to do this video every day until I get a six-pack. And I'm like, okay, this is going to take a while, but this kid is so entertaining. And then for every follower he gets, he walks another inch. So he has 282,000 followers now. So he's walking like 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers, which translates to 0.63. So, you know, 5 miles a day. And he's doing that every day. Plus he's doing exercise and stuff. But he starts the video by saying, today I have this many followers, so I have to walk this many kilometers. And then he takes off his shirt. And he's a big chubby guy, but you're like, and everybody's like, you're the GOAT, you're the best, you know, because he's inspiring people. So, and I'm bringing him up because I get inspired by him. I mean, I don't need to lose 200 pounds like he does, but I'm rooting for the guy. So think about that when you're creating a reel. Mauricio, I just did Art Expo. This is my first reel following up after Art Expo. I met so many wonderful people. I had interest in 4 of my paintings. I'm going to show you the 4 paintings, and my goal is to sell one of these 4 paintings in the next 30 days. Follow me. And I'm going to talk to you about the first painting. And you talk to them about the first painting. Now they have to follow you to come back to see what you're going to talk about for the second painting. So that's what you need to do. You need to turn yourself from an artist to a salesperson, to an artist to a marketer. Put on your marketing hat and think about how you're going to interest people, right? Think of a theme, Linda, in photography that I'm going to do mountains for I'm just throwing stuff out there, Linda, you know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do mountains for the next 2 weeks. And then following that, I'm going to do spring because we're going into spring. And then I'm going to go into the water flowing and the fluidity of these rivers, how they swell. And then I'm going to go into, you know, And so then people will say, oh, I'd like to see that. Not, here's my latest 3 pictures, right? Or photos, right? You got to think of, right? You got to think of a way to get followers to continue following you. And then create a story. And maybe, you know, like this kid does every once in a while. In fact, today I saw him and he finally got a sponsor, and they're called brew bars, BRU. And they're macadamia caffeinated bars. He goes, it gives me just enough energy to get through my workout. And he eats a couple bites and then he throws the bar to the guy who's filming him, right? And then he starts doing his work. And you're like, okay, this kid he's funny, you know? Anyway, you get the idea. And I think if you wanted to, you could put together, you know, my theme is this, here's how I'm going to create my story, and my call to action. What's your call to action? It's called the CTA. And in marketing, everybody knows the term CTA, call to action. So you put out your reel and your call to action is, today, I'm only looking for you to follow me. And then you could be funny and say, but if you want to purchase something, the store is always open, you know, something like that. And then hopefully they just follow you. And the next time you do a reel, your call to action would be, I literally got 14 followers and I'm looking for 50. That's your call to action. And you might want to get 50 people. And then you might want to get 100. And after you get so many people and you start producing more and more work, they'll start buying it. Like, get in touch with me here. Come see me at Red Dot Miami. Come see me at Spectrum. Come see me at Santa Fe, whatever it may be. Or any street fairs that you're doing in and around your own neighborhoods and in cities, right?
Think about the people that you also follow on social media, and why you follow them is because when you open up Instagram, they're always at the top. They always have new content out. You root for their consistency. And you could, I don't know if anyone here has signed up for Art Santa Fe, but maybe you're working on a new piece for Art Santa Fe. Start sharing from putting your, you know, canvas up on the easel, do a little bit every single day and make a little bit of that video, and people are going to come back and want to see your finished piece or your finished sculpture. Or, you know, if you're going out and photographing on a trip, from the time you get there to the time you leave and the process behind it. Anything that you can think of in your daily routine that's consistent that you can just start taking video of and showing, you know, is fascinating for people.
Mhm. Well, I am a marketing professional myself. I'm graduating in advertising, but I work for a design studio as a marketing director. I end up doing more things for my client than for myself, but I do reels as well. And one thing I did was good to get more followers. I did like a raffle, giving away one print. So I did in collaboration with another page. And then it was like, I grew up like organically, like 300 followers. So it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
pretty
you
good.
need to keep doing like every day. Sometimes I don't have time to do like every day, but I try to.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that always the way it is, though? Mauricio, you're a marketing expert, but you don't market for yourself as much as you do for your clients.
Yes.
My dad was a plumber, and my mom was always yelling at him around to fix things around the house.
That's it. Yeah.
But he was busy working on big buildings in downtown LA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I have a question about pricing, please. Like, I have been struggling about price every day because I was selling in Brazil, like selling good in Brazil. So I came back to New York because I had lived in New York in the past, and then I came back in 2020. From 2020 to now, I haven't been selling too much, but I have my price online on Redwood Art Group. The question is, if I lower my price now, would be bad? Like if people have seen the price higher, then I lower my price. I need to sell to make sales.
Right. How did you sell in Brazil?
Through galleries. I had a gallerist who worked with me. I was living in south of Brazil, Porto Alegre. It's a big city very good for culture and arts and for shows. And there was this gallery. She had a gallery once on her address, and later she had a gallery at Sheraton Hotel. It was a lot of tourists walking around. So I sold a lot of one of my main muses is Carmen Miranda, which is a Brazilian character. But I tried to get rid from Carmen Miranda here in the United States because it's not like a. It's also admired. People like the painting, but they don't buy a lot. Like I sold in Brazil the Carmen Mirandas. But I mean, I used to sell there with the galleries and sometimes commissions, paintings.
So in your booth at New York, did you have a sign that said looking for gallery representation?
I was with a gallery, with a gallerist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yes.
you were right. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But next year, I'm planning to do. I don't need to be a gallery to be there. I can be a solo artist with some other partners and
Yeah.
rent a booth. Have a
Yeah.
booth. A booth. Sorry.
Yeah, you were with Nase, right? Gallery.
Yes, I was at Nasi. Yes.
So yeah, if you're in a solo booth, I would encourage you to put up a, you know, looking for gallery representation. So the gallerists do stop by, or even art dealers or consultants, and because the
Well,
more
there was some good things happened. There was a gallery from São Paulo, Brazil. It's a great gallery in São Paulo, and he brought 4 of my paintings to his gallery in São Paulo.
Good.
He's gonna start a show in May, on May now, and I hope I can sell there because he took almost all my Carmen Mirandas back to Brazil.
yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's what you want, a broader distribution, always. But you're competing with, that's why all these things we help you with give you a little bit more of an edge, because you're competing with so many artists around the world, right? I mean, do you know how many artists are up on Saatchi?
I don't know.
94,000. That's a lot.
A lot, yeah.
It's a lot, and
A lot of artwork.
well, if they all had 10 pieces, it'd be almost 1 million pieces of art. So, that's where you get the edge here. And, you do some of these things that we keep teaching you about, and you have patience and you have a long-term plan, it'll eventually come. If your work's really good. I mean, good work will eventually sell. So, yeah, you gotta have that stick-to-itiveness and a long-term outlook. And some people get bored and fall off the wayside, but other people that make it. Look at Van Gogh. It took him a whole lifetime to sell one piece of art.
Please, yes.
I mean, so any other questions since our last meeting? Linda, do you have anything else?
I was just going to suggest, and I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but if you're looking to find a good example of an artist that is constantly building followers on Instagram, look at Kate Taylor Studio. Kate regularly exhibits with us at our Art San Diego fair. And she's a Canadian artist, but when you look at her Instagram, there's always a reason to come back. There's always something that she's sharing and showing, even showing how she does it, how she paints, how she hangs her booth when she's doing a show. And then she's posting pictures on her Instagram of the people that bought her work at the show. So there's always a reason to come back. And she's a really, really good example of everything that Hannah's talking to you about, also about reels. She's a real champion of reels. And, you know, you get a glimpse into her studio and it makes you, oh, I want that. I want some of that. You know, from a collector perspective. And she also has a guarantee, which I think is pretty interesting. It's what Eric was talking about. Give me a little deposit, and I'll send it to you. And if for any reason at all you don't like it, I'll take it right back. We'll send you something else or refund all of your money. So it's easy. She makes it really easy to work with her. And when when you see something that you really like, she'll send it to you. And I think that it's very engaging. She's very engaging, and I think it's also fun. She makes what she's doing and what she's telling you about, she makes it feel like fun. And I think that that's really part of the bottom line. You're not selling medical equipment. You're selling artwork that people really love. And I think that if you can get your messaging across and consistently, then you really start to build followers and have a real brand presence for you and your work.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
Any-
doesn't take herself too seriously on social
No,
media. And I
no.
think that's the secret. She'll post, what should I wear to the opening night? Or look at my
Mhm.
car. This is how I loaded all my artwork into my car to go to an art fair. It's just fun and entertaining.
And part of it becomes a little bit of a glimpse of lifestyle, right?
Totally.
Getting a glimpse of who she is and how she lives. And there's posts of her at that she has a home in I guess in the mountains. And so sometimes she's out on the deck of the house up, the cabin in the mountains, and she's like, well, I'm just out here and I'm really inspired by everything that's around me, and I thought I'd paint this today. And then she's painting this today. So I think that that lifestyle piece of Facebook posts, of Instagram is really important. And it gives a glimpse. And remember what we've talked about before is it's your story. The artwork, yes, they might love the artwork, but it's your story that captivates. It's your story that's the real hook. And it's your story that makes them buy the artwork.
Yeah, one more thing. Penny asked, what are good view numbers for Redwood storefront? She has 250 plus on one of my pieces, but no contact yet. So we're working on that now. And next time we get on the call, we'll have some 250 is pretty good, by the way. But we'll have some more information for you on that in ways to interact with the people that are looking at the work. So we've been working on that, and we'll have some news for you on our next call.
Okay, question on that? If you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of if you go to the products or whatever, where it shows how many hits, how many times a painting has been viewed, I have some on Redwood that are 2,500. I think I may have some that are over 3,000. And they've been up 2 years, or less. But no calls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to sell work online. We did sell 3 pieces in the last, couple days. People that were interested. One of them was somebody offered $8,000 for a $12,000 piece. Another person paid $1,300 for a $1,300 piece, and then the other one was pretty close to that. a little higher, I mean, 5 or 6,000, and it was a pretty good offer. So they do come in, they do come in. That's what I can tell you. But it's not like, I mean, Saatchi is a much bigger machine than we are. There's no doubt. You guys all know that. I mean, 94,000 artists, right? I mean, you know, we're doing our best to help out the people that participate in our shows and that are part of this club.
I have ultimate faith in you.
No, thanks, Jewel. So we'll have some more information for you next time, and you have your assignment for the next meeting.
Great.
Thanks for joining today. Good session, and
welcome.
good to see everybody.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Have a great rest of the week.
Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.